During this epidemic, most of the urgent economic measures implemented to financially support the American people are about to disappear, which means that major troubles are on the horizon. We are now in the midst of the deepest economic downturn since the Great Depression of 1930s. Economic activity has declined dramatically. Over 100,000 businesses have been permanently closed, and over 44 million Americans have lost a job so far by 2020. Unfortunately, this short-term increase in artificial relief is about to run out and will cause some major problems as it approaches the end of this calendar year. Earlier today, two sentences really caught my attention from a Buzzfeed article on the upcoming extreme economic desperation. The United States economy right now is like a jumbo jet that's in a steady glide after both its engines flamed out. In about 6 weeks, it will likely crash into the side of a mountain. I think that is a perfect description of what we are facing, except that I would replace United States economy with United States consumers. The fact is that the economy has already collapsed, but consumers are protected from the effects of this collapse due to trillions of dollars in emergency spending and unprecedented measures. What's kept us in the air so far is an extraordinary government relief effort. In most states, evictions have been temporarily banned, preventing a mass homelessness crisis. Most federal student loan payments have been put on hold, removing one of the largest recurring monthly expenses that millions of people face. Banks were ordered to give their customers a 6-month break on mortgage payments if requested. Most importantly, and counterintuitively, household income sharply increased in April as hundreds of billions of dollars in lost wages were replaced by trillions of government spending. The government sent out more than 159 million stimulus payments of up to $1,200 per adult, more if you have kids, and more than 20 million unemployed people became eligible for an extra $600 a week in federal unemployment benefits. The result, according to Bloomberg, was the largest monthly increase in household income ever recorded. What we witnessed was a wealth transfer unlike anything we have seen in all United States history, and this has allowed most Americans to go through the past few months without much trouble. In fact, many unemployed workers bring more money to the house than they actually work. But on July 31st, about 6 weeks from now, all will change. The $600 unemployment bonuses are scheduled to end on this date, and President Trump and Republican leaders in Congress have made it clear he has no intention to extending them. In addition, it seems that for ordinary Americans, the government will no longer have direct control even if another incentive bill is passed. Thus, tens of millions of Americans will soon face a future where they will bring very little income. In addition, the nationwide ban on evacuation will end soon, as are grace periods for mortgage payments. If enough income does not come, many Americans will soon lose their homes, and this will likely begin to rise on the way to the holiday season. Above all, the federal student loans grace period will end in early October. Basically, all of the postponed economic pain will return with revenge in the next few months. Of course, Congress could delay things a little more by borrowing and spending trillions of dollars we don't have, but all of their reckless spending has put us in a very dangerous area. Trillions are now whooshing by at a breathtaking pace. The United States gross national debt, the total of all Treasury securities outstanding jumped by $1 trillion over the past 5 weeks, from May the 4th through June 8th, and by $2.5 trillion for the 11 weeks since March 23rd. The total United States national debt outstanding has reached $26 trillion, according to the Treasury Department. Business debts already skyrocketed in the first quarter, according to the data released yesterday by the Fed's Board of Governors. In Q1, total non-financial business debts, which include corporations and other businesses but not financial intermediaries such as banks, that borrow to lend and including them would result in double counting a lot of debts, jumped to $16.86 trillion. This was a 5% increase from the prior quarter. Non-financial debts of $60 trillion. According to the Fed's Board of Directors, in the first quarter, total non-financial debt, including government debt at all levels, non-financial commercial debt and household debt rose to $55.9 trillion, and the second quarter will most likely add $3 trillion of Treasury debt, as well as a large amount of commercial debt issued in April, May, and June. All combined, total non-financial debt will approach $60 trillion by the end of June, will double in 40 years since 2006. It took until 1981 that the United States national debt from the foundation of the USA reached $1 trillion, and now we added the same amount to the debt in just 5 weeks. Wow, our elected officials are definitely destroying our future, but most Americans are not concerned about it. Instead, many are clamoring for more free money because they say that what they have achieved so far is almost not enough. Of course, previously federal spending has not had exactly the desired effect. Americans had to take and spend the money they received. But instead, one recent survey found that most Americans are actually cutting back on their spending right now. Coronavirus is going to change the world in many ways. And one of the changes it has already ushered in is a shift in the way people handle their spending. And while there is nothing good about the virus or its economic impact, the financial changes that Americans have made in response to it actually have been positive ones. In fact, the habits most people are adopting are worth keeping up even after the threat from the pandemic has passed. Saving more money. 34% of survey respondents indicate they have upped their savings rate because of the novel coronavirus. Reducing spending. During these turbulent times, 59% of Americans have cut their budgets, so they are not spending as much money as they did pre-pandemic. Reevaluating their priorities. 48% of those surveyed indicate they are prioritizing living expenses, while 30% of respondents indicate their top priority as consumables, including food and drink. No matter how much money Congress showers on the American people, they are not going to be able to eliminate the overwhelming fear that COVID-19 has created. For the foreseeable future, they will not continue their normal economic model, as most of the population are afraid of the virus. And in most of our major cities, rebellion, looting, and violence had a negative impact on economic activity. There is a big economic downturn here, and it seems to be very, very deep. Congress managed to minimize discomfort for a while, but these emergency measures were only intended to help for a short time, and in about 6 weeks, the whole country will begin to feel tremendous pain. Most of the idea, comment, information, and criticism containing in these videos have been created by Daily News Report. Before making any important investment decision,
use the information contained in these videos as a starting point for conducting your own research. If you make any investment or legal decision, it is advised to consult an expert before making this decision.